We might have to treat our humble houseplants to an extra helping of sunlight this week. As human-induced CO2 emissions continue to increase, a new study suggests that the Earth's vegetation has upped its game to help offset that growth. After a 40-year upward trend, the rate at which atmospheric CO2 levels increased hit a plateau between 2002 and 2014, thanks largely to plants plucking more CO2 out of the air than they have previously. In 1959, the rate of growth of carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere sat at about 0.75 parts per million, ppm, per year, and over the second half of the 20th century, that figure increased rapidly, up to 1.86 parts per million per year in 2002. But in the years since then, the rate of growth has flatlined, despite the fact that human activity continues to pump out more and more CO2. That's not to say the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere isn't still going up, it is, but the rate of increase has slowed, remaining steady on about 1.9 parts per million each year since 2002. Not only that, but the amount of anthropogenic CO2 that stays in the air has dropped by around 20%. So where is it all going? New research, headed up by the Department of Energy's Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, analyzed data from the Global Carbon Project and ran computer models to determine what changes may be occurring in Earth's carbon cycle. Interestingly, the models suggest that the increase in CO2 levels is itself responsible for the improved absorption performance of the planet's plants. With more CO2 in the air, the plants are better able to photosynthesize, meaning they grow better and further increase their rate of photosynthesis. That boom was helped along by the fact that plant respiration, a process which sees them take in oxygen and exhale CO2, didn't increase at the same rate. These changes decreased the amount of anthropogenic CO2 that stays in the atmosphere, and thus slowed the accumulation of atmospheric CO2, says Keenan. This highlights the need to identify and protect ecosystems where the